Hello, everyone. This is JVL here with my best friend, Sarah Longwell, publisher of the Bulwark. Sarah, happy Friday. I would like to start by giving people a little look behind the curtain. We have a voyeur, as the French put it, this week. Normally, when we tape this show, it is just Sarah and I talking.
I was like, what are you talking about? Now I know.
Right now, there is a producer, Jared Poland. Jared, say hi to the people.
Hey, guys.
Jared is sitting in on us while we record, which is something that has literally never happened. And it happens on the other shows. I mean, we have producers sitting in on Tim's show, producers who sit on the next level. Or with The Secret, it's just you and me. Adieu.
Yeah, and we basically can't edit anything half the time. It's just JVL hits start and then he hits stop. And we say what we say, and we've got to live with it. But apparently, we're going to have somebody edit us now, try to make us sound better than we are?
I don't think I care for that. I mean, yeah. But this made me, so we were joking before we came on the air. I said, oh, this is one of my kinks, having somebody watch us. But I would like to share with you an actual kink that a professional kink, discovered when the age of Google Documents arrived. So once upon a time in the magazine world, you would compose in Microsoft Word, and then you would email your MS Word document to your editor, and they would do it. And when we switched, this is in the Weekly Standard days, I switched my team off of Microsoft Word and onto Google Docs, we discovered that you could have a document open and you could be watching in real time. And so I, as the editor, could sit and watch my writers writing. And I gotta say, that was a real kink, because sometimes I would even start editing them while they were writing.
Well, you do this to me. This was what I gotta tell you.
Time.
No, not all the time. But there is a scene. Do you remember the movie? It's not. Oh, Broadcast News. Okay, do you remember that movie, Broadcast News? Holly Hunter.
Yep.
All right. So there's this scene where they.
John Hurt.
William Hurt.
One of the Hurts.
Yeah, she's in his ear while they're doing breaking news of some kind, and afterwards he's just amped up, and he's like, "That was great sex," and they're and I not the sex part, but I do have this. Sometimes I'll be writing, and you'll be up here in the document, and you'll be writing as I'm writing, and it is sort of like it's like sharing a brain with somebody for a period of time. And that real timeness of it is a for people who live in the iterative nature of generating something. It is a interesting experience.
We become like King Ghidorah for a brief period. I'll let you look that up.
I don't know who that is.
I'm not going to explain it. If you know, you know. The people who get the reference will appreciate it. Other people can look that up. All right. So, Sarah, what do we want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the jobs numbers that came out this morning, which were
let's hit the jobs numbers.
Or do you want to talk about Epstein first, or do you want to talk about Kennedy first?
I would like to talk about jobs numbers first. I did C-SPAN this morning, took callers. I've already taken an hour's worth of callers, some C-SPAN callers this morning. But I was on while the jobs numbers came out. And so I had to react in real time. And it was interesting because the host read it to me. It's 22,000. Do you have the number in front of you?
It's 22,000. Yeah.
It's a second extremely disappointing jobs number. But to me, my first thought was, well, you fired the last person who gave you the jobs numbers when they weren't good. So what are you going to do about these jobs numbers?
I mean, so CNN is reporting this morning that the nice Italian American gentleman who has been nominated to run the Bureau of Labor Statistics, he's not there yet. He's not in place yet. And his confirmation is hitting a snag because it turns out that you haven't seen this, so I'll let you put your coffee down. I want you to spit it all over the thing. He is a shit poster
Sure.
And he spent,
why would I spit out for that? That's the whole.
Oh, I guess
they're all like that.
So, this guy who is going to be taking one of the most important jobs that exist in the world for economists spent 5 or 6 years online tweeting under a series of anonymous accounts, making like sexist attacks on Kamala Harris. I mean, it is, he's cat turd. Like, he isn't cat turd, but I'm saying, like, this guy, part of his qualification to run the the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is, again, an unbelievably important piece of the bureaucracy. Part of his qualifications is that he's an anonymous shitposter on Twitter.
Well, here's what's interesting is that
it's idiocracy, Sarah.
I know. Ooh, this weekend, just as a quick plug, JVL and I with Sunny sat down and we did a Bulwark movie club with Idiocracy. Go listen to it. It's going to be good. It'll be a treat for you this weekend. The thing about being the head of BLS is that it's not like you sit in there and tinker with the numbers or that you do a bunch of modeling.
That hasn't been what it is.
Well, I mean, a bunch of other people who are qualified to do the job just take the inputs from the business community and they give them to you and you report on them. So his job, I assume, is going to be maybe putting pressure on people either to spin up the numbers in some way or simply to stop reporting them, which to me seems like a not at all unlikely possibility that they simply stop reporting jobs numbers until they feel like they can maneuver them into a more favorable place. And if they can't, they just keep not telling you what they are. But you got to understand that the jobs numbers, along with then it is one of the big key indicators about the growth or retraction of the economy, along with the GDP. And so, like, how we will know if we are in a recession or not, how the Fed will know. And this is actually, to me, this is the other thing that's interesting is you don't have to be a particularly sophisticated economist, because I'm certainly not one, to understand that the negative jobs numbers are the most likely thing, though, to give Trump what he wants more than anything else, which is a rate cut. And so what's interesting is the markets futures are up because they think, okay, the job constriction in the economy is going to lead us to a rate cut, which is what we really want in the market.
Mm-hmm. And that's next week.
Right. We're going to get a rate cut probably. Yeah. But it is because they have to try to juice the economy to offset the damage that Donald Trump is doing. That is the thing to understand.
Yes. And the problem is that inflation keeps creeping higher. And so they're going to be forced to choose between, do we try to stop inflation or do we try to stop the recession? And, the only tool the Fed has will make one of those things better, but at the same time will make the other one worse.
Nothing worse.
And my guess is that they will succeed at neither. And so we are going to wind up with stagflation, which is where we're already headed. Anyway, it's great. It's all great. The other news from the jobs report is that we got the revised numbers for June, July, and net negative. So net loss of 23,000 jobs from those 2 months.
Is that true? I hadn't seen that part.
And June is now a net job loser. So fewer jobs coming out of June. June lost 13,000 jobs. In July.
Can I ask a follow-up question on this?
Yeah, sure.
I thought when they did the revisions before, were those for earlier months?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we have I guess they didn't lose jobs when they did the revisions. They just revised them significantly down.
Right.
And so now we've got our first quarter or our first month of negative growth. And so is it, then it's with the GDP, it's 2 months of negative growth that you end up with a recession.
2 quarters.
2 quarters
of negative
in a row.
Growth. Yeah.
But so this is one of the first negative growths we've seen.
Well, we got negative growth in first quarter. We got negative GDP growth in first quarter.
I meant on
this
jobs.
This is on jobs. This is a first negative growth. But another little Easter egg tucked into this jobs report is that, so we got we are net plus 22,000 when they were expecting 75,000. And of those, healthcare was plus 31,000.
Yeah.
Meaning minus healthcare, everybody else lost jobs. Manufacturing, I don't know if you have heard that manufacturing is so crucial to the forgotten man, Sarah. They're minus 78,000 since Trump was sworn in.
Yeah, this is actually an extremely important point on both ends of it. One is that the jobs that we're supposed to be adding as a result of the tariffs are manufacturing jobs, and we continue to have a chaotic approach to the tariffs. And one of the things that we've seen a lot of reporting on this week is just how impossible it is for businesses to know not just how to hire, not just where to invest, but also how to price things. They don't know how to price things because they don't know if the tariffs are going to go up or down, if they're going to be retracted. It's an insane way to run an economy. And it's funny because usually the president actually doesn't have that much control over the economy. Usually it's such a big macro thing. Donald Trump is single-handedly right now because he's doing this without Congress. Because even though Congress is supposed to be the one, he's doing it illegally. Right. He is singularly responsible for driving down these manufacturing jobs. And then when you think about the healthcare sector and why that's going up, it's boomers. It's older boomers. Like we sort of always knew this was coming, right? As people age into this category, you're going to see our largest population center need more healthcare and medical care.
Well, Sarah, I mean, in a way, couldn't you see the attack on vaccination programs as a boon to healthcare sector? Because if we have more sick kids getting measles and mumps and rubella and all those things, and more people getting hospitalized from COVID, that is going to really be a shot in the arm, so to speak, for the healthcare side. We're going to need more nurses, more doctors, more techs. And so really, Bobby Kennedy is just trying to stimulate the economy.
Yeah, I take your point. I do not think that is why the healthcare costs are up. I will say that we do need more nurses and doctors. We really need more nurses.
Do you get the sense from, because I talk to a lot of nurses and doctors, and politics comes up sometimes because sometimes they recognize me a little bit. And my sense that nurses and doctors not super happy with the environment in which they are currently existing.
It's funny. I was at a doctor this week, and there was like a little cue card. They're being like, misinformation is becoming an increasing problem in healthcare. Like, go to get the facts here. And can you imagine being a doctor right now? And on top of
yes, I can.
I'm sorry, I forgot your 116th.
That's a little.
How rude of me.
That's a little thoughtless.
Yeah,
I have feelings, Sarah.
That's true. I forgot how you're a doctor in New York. That's what you do with your life. Can you imagine? Not only are you contending with Dr. Google in sort of a constant people coming in being like, "But I Googled my symptoms and this is what I have," which guilty slightly here, but also people coming in and refusing certain kinds of care, or saying they don't want to get their kids vaccinated. And
I don't want the ivermectins.
I bet that is not where they're getting it. I bet it is not from people who talk like that. I bet it is far too online Maha moms who believe that Bobby Kennedy is right, that vaccines cause autism.
Well, I think that's great, and people should be able to make choices.
Not me, man. I mean, actually, I do think people should be able to make choices. And we can get into the Kennedy hearing
just so long as they don't I'm sorry, I should clarify this. I think people should be allowed to make choices so long as they have to live with the consequences of their choices. What I don't like are people who get to make choices that the rest of us then have to clean up. That I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, I think people get to make choices about their health. I just want them to be able to do it. I want to be able to do it without quacks and charlatans and non-medical professionals being the ones to, pump that information into the ecosystem.
Well, Sure. But of course, the funny thing is, like, the whole Maha thing isn't really about allowing people to make choices. It's about imposing their choice. Because we are not going to wind up with a system in which people who want to get their kids vaccinated can, and people who don't want to get their kids vaccinated don't. That's not where we're headed. Where we're headed is to the Kennedys of the world pulling all that stuff off the menu.
No, I agree.
And that's like the funny thing about, like, it starts out all as like, oh, we just want choice. And it turns out, no, we don't want to. We just want to impose. It's just dominance, like everything else with these people.
I will tell you one of the most depressing things that happened during the C-SPAN thing. And C-SPAN's always, C-SPAN's always a bit of a what would I call it? You do get to engage. It is like a real live focus group. People call in and they get to ask you direct questions, and it's a real brush with Americans and what they think. But this occurred before I was actually on the air, but I was sitting I was just behind the screen waiting to go on, and so it was the caller before me. They were talking specifically about the RFK hearings, and one of the people who called in was an anesthesiologist, talking about how RFK is right about how unhealthy Americans are, and that what he sees, day in and day out is, these problems with obesity and heart disease. And so the host sort of pushed back and said, but what about vaccines? And he kind of hedged in this way that was like, well, he's just asking questions. And so that was the scariest thing to me, that we had this doctor who was, and this is why Kennedy
allegedly a doctor. Believe me, I can call into C-SPAN and pretend to be a doctor too.
That's true. You're right. Who knows if this was actually an anesthesiologist? But that's what he said he was. Sure. But do you know that RFK is currently the most popular member of Donald Trump's cabinet?
Surprises me not at all.
Yeah. And in part, it is there are a lot of people who are just, and this guy was sort of evidence of that what he hears from Kennedy is more the statement of the problem, which they agree with, which is that Americans are far too unhealthy. But then they sort of hedge on the vaccine part of it. But, people do want, this is why he's popular. It's why I think Trump put him in there, the appetite among voters for sort of, and it is crazy because this is like Michelle Obama. All she tried to do was say, like, maybe kids should exercise.
People like it when the black lady said that people should be healthier? Because I feel like the reaction we got from the same people who love Bobby Kennedy now was a little bit different.
I do. What she was like, maybe we're going to have a little garden at the White House where we grow vegetables, and everyone was like, "This is tyrant."
Yeah. I actually want to go deep on the RFK stuff, but we're gonna do that just for the actual secret part of the secret show. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit, this little tasting, this morsel.
Come behind the wall with us. I got a few things about Senator Cassidy I'd like to say to you, JVL.